first thing that I want us to notice is that John the Baptist arose in the midst of a great religious revival. Notice Matthew chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Matthew 3, 5 and 6. It says, when Jerusalem, all Judea, and all the region around the Jordan went out to him and were baptized by him in the Jordan, confessing their sins. Notice that there was great expectancy. It says here that Jerusalem, all Judea, and all the region around the Jordan went out to John the Baptist. And one of the reasons is because John the Baptist was very similar, as we'll notice in a few minutes, very similar to another prophet of the Old Testament, Elijah. He dressed like Elijah. He ate like Elijah. He lived in the desert like Elijah. He spoke like Elijah. And so there was great expectancy that the Messiah was about to come, because it was expected that a forerunner would come which would prepare the way for the coming of the Messiah. And by the way, the Jews also knew that a very important prophecy of the Old Testament was about to be fulfilled, the prophecy of the 70 weeks. In other words, the prophecy of the 70 weeks said that after the first 69 weeks, the Messiah would come, the anointed one would come, and they knew that 483 years of that prophecy had just about transpired from the going forth of the word to restore and to build Jerusalem. They could count forward, and they knew that the prophecy of the 70 weeks, the last week, was about to begin. And so because of John the Baptist looking like Elijah, and because this prophecy was about to be fulfilled, there was great expectancy and a great religious revival. Now, John was asked if he was a prophet, or if he was the prophet. And I want you to notice what his answer was. John 1, verses 19 to 21. John 1, 19 through 21. Now, this is the testimony of John, when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who are you? He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Christ. And they asked him, what then? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? And he answered, no. So when they asked John the Baptist if he was the prophet, John the Baptist said no. So the question is, who was he then? Go with me to Luke chapter 7 and verse 27. If he wasn't the prophet, who was he? Luke 7, verse 27. Here Jesus is speaking, and he says, this is he of whom it is written, behold, I send whom? I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. So the question is, what was John the Baptist? He was the Lord's messenger. He said, I am not the prophet, but he was the Lord's messenger. Now, why did God call John the Baptist? Let's read a few verses that tell us the reason why God raised him up. John chapter 1 and verse 23. John 1, 23. He said, this is John the Baptist speaking, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord, as the prophet Isaiah said. In other words, he arose in harmony with the fulfillment of a prophecy of Isaiah. And it says that he was called to prepare the way of the Lord.